I would never want to hurt you. Oh my gosh, you're so cute. I love these guys. How's it going, YouTube lovers? This is PixelEagle138, aka the Eagle Builder Animator. Welcome back to another episode of Video Gamer. Today, I'm here to do another snapshot review here in Minecraft. Yes, I know it was 2 years. Last time I did it, I said it's been 2 years since I did one, and once again, it has been 2 years since I've done one. I apologize for that. I definitely wanted to keep doing these more. I did intend to stop doing them immediately again, but this is our first snapshot we have here for the features that were shown at the most recent Minecraft Live. I reacted to that live. It was a really fun stream, and I'm really excited to check these features out because this is all about really the happy Ghast and all that fun stuff that comes along with it. So we have some features to check out today. I'm going to briefly talk about another one that's the experimental tab, and then we'll get right into the fun stuff with the Ghast and all of those features. And again, I will be keeping an eye out for other snapshots because apparently they're going to drop on Tuesdays now, not Wednesdays. It's no longer Wednesday, my dudes, for snapshots. It's Tuesday. But I will keep an eye on them for any other snapshots that add new features so that I can check them out as they drop. But let's go ahead and jump right into the snapshot review and see what it has to offer. The first feature here in this snapshot is the Locator Bar. Now this is one you have to toggle on in the experimental settings when you create a world, and I won't be able to showcase this very well here because it is just me. I am all alone in this world. But this is basically the feature that I'm showing at Minecraft Live, that is for multiplayer, where you can see a little indicator on your bar. I'm going to show some footage from Minecraft Live on screen here so you can see it. A little indicator on the bottom of your screen that shows you where your friends are, so you can help find each other more easily in multiplayer settings. And I'm not sure what I think about this feature personally. I also don't understand how it's supposed to work in conjunction with the XP bar. That part doesn't make as much sense to me. It's unclear. If you know exactly what it does, if you had the chance to experiment with this and know what it does, with the XP bar, without the XP bar, please let me know in the comments because I'm actually curious about that. But there are a couple ways that you'll be able to hide yourself from the Locator Bar, which is really interesting. That's what I put in the chest here. So if you wear any type of headgear, basically that is a full head type of thing, like a carved pumpkin, or a skeleton skull, or a zombie head, any mob heads, including piglet and dragon heads, you will no longer be visible on the Locator Bar. And another thing that actually keeps you off the Locator Bar is, of course, an invisibility potion, which makes a lot of sense. And in fact, you'll notice when you have a potion of invisibility, it now says in the description of the item, minus 100% waypoint transmit range. So it'll just completely wipe you from the waypoint transmitters that you won't be seen on the Locator Bar at all, which, is really useful. So you can still keep, the invisibility pranks and sneaking around and doing all kinds of fun stuff like that on multiplayer servers. Again, like I said, I'm not quite sure what I think about this feature yet, but it's certainly interesting, and I'm curious to see how it will develop as Mojang works with it. Alright, now to the feature that is very much the highlight of the snapshot, and that starts with the Dried Ghast, a new block item in the game, which is actually craftable, and you can go venturing into the nether yourself for it. So, before I show you the recipe, even though it's fairly obvious from what I have here, let's go ahead, grab some gear, and we will head into the nether with our trusty flint and steel, and we will get ourselves a naturally spawning dry ghast. Because that is why I set up this whole area for the review here, is because it'll take me right to where it is. And I do have armor and stuff because, as you can tell, this is the nether, and it is dangerous here. But here is the dried ghast block. It looks all sad here, but these will spawn randomly amongst the bone block structures. Oh, hi, skeleton. Amongst all these structures here, the Soul Sand Valley with the fossils, and again, they'll just randomly spawn in places. Go away. Oh, that wasn't even the same skeleton that was shooting me. There we go. But these will randomly spawn with the fossils, and they're super easy to pick up. You can use any tool to get them, including your fists, so you just go. They break incredibly fast, and then you have a little dried ghast right in your inventory. So that's all we need to get out of the nether here. Let's go ahead back into the safety of the overworld and see what we need to do with this guy, which I have already started. As you can see, these little particle effects here. is a dry ghast, so obviously, because he's dry, you need to help him moisturize. So you're going to dunk him in water, just waterlog him at any block, whether you place him down and pour a bucket on top, or you place him directly in the water itself. You just need to put him in the water. And when he's in the water, he will slowly begin to change. That little frown that's on his face, actually, can I get a good look at in third person? There we go. That little frown that's on his face right there, that will slowly turn into more of a smile as the moisture returns to him and he starts to, I guess, undry is a good way to put it. That's not a good way to put it, actually. But yeah, the texture will slightly change as he goes, and it'll get happier and happier, and little particle effects know it's working. It takes a little bit to do this, about 20 minutes, I think is what the snapshot details said. So 20 minutes of real time, so a couple Minecraft days. But you can also craft these yourself. You still have to go to the Nether to get these. But you can also craft them if you want to have a bunch of them without having to constantly look for another Soul Sand Valley if you've already plundered it of its resources. And to do that, you need bone blocks and you need gas tiers. With that, it's very simple but very expensive. You go to crafting table, you pop a bone block in the middle, and then you surround it with gas tiers. This right here will make me 8 dry gas, but I needed a full stack of gas tiers in order to do that, which means a lot of farming gas. So either way, you're going to have to spend some time in the Nether to get these dry gas so that you can eventually get a new mount to ride the skies with in the overworld. Next up, we have the Ghastling, which is the next phase of the dry ghast. Unfortunately, there are no spawn eggs for this thing in creative, and I checked the summoning commands and I didn't see Ghastling there. So we are going to have to wait until this little dry ghast that I popped down here eventually makes his way through. I'll just cut forward to whenever that happens. But for now, what you need to know is the Ghastling is a little baby ghast, and he is freaking adorable. And because, again, we have a happy ghast is what he's going to turn into. So as opposed to the angry ghast, which breathes fire and lives in the Nether, this ghast prefers to be in the overworld and places where it's cold, like this biome here, so very fitting. And he loves snowballs. Snowballs are Ghastling's favorite food, so we're going to fill up our hotbar with a bunch of snowballs. I'll put these here for now. And we are going to have them ready for when the Ghastling first spawns, and we'll be ready to greet him immediately with his favorite food. Oh, there we go. As you can see, we are starting to progress into its rehydration here. It's now a neutral face instead of a frowning face. It is getting closer to finally becoming the cute little Ghastling, so we can finally see it. Again, it is taking a little bit to get here, but unfortunately there is just no way to get this Ghastling here with summon or spawn egg. I did try both, but unfortunately it doesn't seem to be possible. There you go. He is now much happier. He is onto the final stretch of his transformation into a Ghastling. And before we get on to that last part, I did want to point out, I forgot to mention this, that when you place a dried ghast in water, you get a new advancement called Stay Hydrated, which is placing a dry gas block into the water. There's another new advancement here which has nothing to do with the gas, which it's just one that you get when you place a creaking heart correctly, so it's based on the last drop. But this is the main thing here that has to do with the gas. Stay hydrated, place a dry gas block into water. We've done that, and we are getting close to finishing our time to wait for the Ghastling to appear. And there he is, the little Ghastling. Oh, he's so cute. They will actually immediately imprint on and follow like the nearest mob, including or players as well. But they also love snowballs, as I said. So let's go ahead and get it. Hello, buddy. I like how he has gills on the side. That's really... Oh, he's so cute. That's such an interesting design choice, though. But yeah, as you can see, they actually eat the snowballs. You right-click on the Ghast, and it actually gives him the snowballs. And what's interesting about this is... Wait, what? No. He went too far away and started throwing it instead of feeding him. No, I didn't want to do that. But as you start feeding him, you see the green particles. This actually accelerates his growth process. It does... No, I'm trying to feed him, not throw him. No, I don't want to do that. I would never want to hurt you. Oh my gosh, you're so cute. I love these guys. Oh, and look at that. And just like that, he's on to the final topic of today, the Happy Ghast, which you can lure back down closer to you with more snowballs. They still do like snowballs to follow around, kind of like the bees follow you with flowers. But if you don't hold it, then they'll just float off and do their own thing. But, oh my gosh, look at that. We grew our Ghastling into a happy Ghast. And, of course, the happy Ghast, the main thing with that is that you are able to ride them. They are a flying mount in this game, which is awesome. And so, to ride them, kind of like how you need a saddle to ride horses, or a carpet to ride a llama, you need a harness to ride a happy Ghast. So let's go ahead and make a harness. So you're going to need leather, glass, and wool. And you can make this with any type of wool. So the basic recipe is you're going to put 3 leather across the top, and then you're going to put 2 glass, 1 on either side of the middle, and then whichever color wool you want goes right in the center, and that's how you get a harness. Like I said, you can do this with any color harness here. I'm just going to make a bunch of them here. There we go. But if you do make another one, you're like, oh, I made a lime harness, but that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to make a regular green harness. You can actually re-dye any of the harnesses using just straight up dye to make another harness. Same thing, if you put that harness in with black dye, you get a black harness. Put it with cyan, you get a cyan harness, and so on and so forth. So this is what you are going to need. It's basically the saddle for these happy Ghasts. So, can I get this guy back down here? Thing is, I think I can actually lure him in with the harness as well. If you hold a harness, it lures him in the same way that the snowball does. Come on, buddy. Come on. I think the nether portal was in his way. There we go. Look at that. I put the harness on him, and there he goes. Come here, buddy. Come here. There we go. Now I just need to see if I can get on him. Because you can see the goggles are up right now. Ooh, but there we go. Now I am riding the Ghast. And if you can see, the goggles have now snapped down onto his face. I really do love this. I think that's awesome, the whole aviator goggles design that they went with him. And as you can see, he's not moving. He is a mount character, so he is only going to move when I move. But say you put the red harness on him and you don't want to do that, there is a way to swap out harnesses. And because there's you have your regular inventory, so it's not like a horse where you have a horse-specific inventory to put the saddle and armor on. There is another way to do it with the Ghast. Oh, yes, of course. As you can see, I shift to dismount like usual, but when you dismount, you are actually able to walk on his head as a platform. This is huge, and I'm going to show how this is super helpful in a second here, but for now, I'm going to go over here and get the shears, because that is how you can swap out harnesses on a Ghast. Say, instead, I want to use the blue harness instead of the red. You just right-click on it with the shears, and the harness falls away, and then come here, buddy. Come here. Come back. There we go. And boom. There we go. Now we've got the blue harness on the Ghast. Now we're cruising. This is basically like the main look for the Ghast. So you can easily just fly around with the Ghast. If you look down, he'll fly down. If you look up, he'll fly up. Pretty straightforward. He is a little slow, as you can tell, but this is also like the first flying mount that we've had in the game. The other way to fly before this was like with Elytra, which, you know, is very, very end game. So this gives you a little bit more flexibility, and it serves a different purpose from the Elytra. The Elytra is for covering a ton of distance super fast, like using fireworks and stuff. The Ghast right here is a very different purpose. One, I can ride this with multiple people. Like, as you can see, I'm sitting like on his forehead on the front here, but there could be a player on either side and a player sitting on the back side of his head, so you can have 4 players riding the Ghast at one time. And we're going to fly over to this ice spike over here and show off why it's so cool that we can actually stand on the Ghast head when we dismount. Because, you know, all other mounts when we dismount we either go right through them or we're put right next to them. Not the happy Ghast. We specifically stand on his head for a very cool reason. I can still do it. I had blocks for this, but I forgot. Oh, no. Okay, so you still got to worry about suffocation. That I should probably get out of F5. But if I go ahead and dismount, I'm now standing on the Ghast. What if I wanted to build something right here on this ice spike? Well, all I can do right there is grab some wool, for example, or any block, and now I can just build. I can just build like I'm on a piece of scaffolding. That is what is so cool about this happy Ghast. is that I am very easily able to just stop him and use him as a platform for things like building, or if I wanted to maybe try to do an extra challenge for myself and battle some phantoms. God, I hate those things. But if I wanted to battle some phantoms in the air on their own turf, I could use a Ghast as my platform from which I fight them on, and this is just really cool. I think that for building in particular, like survival building, this Happy Ghast is going to be incredibly useful. I know I have struggled even with the use of bamboo scaffolding, which is still, an early game solution for building, but once you've gone to the Nether enough, either to craft yourself a drive Ghast or to explore the Soul Sand Valley and find one yourself, I think that this is basically an upgrade from scaffolding to this. And again, obviously scaffolding can still help with like tighter spaces and things like that, because as you saw, you can start suffocating if you go into a block with this guy. But overall, I just think that this is a great addition to the game. I am very, very excited to have a chance to use this in my own survival worlds, and just in general, the Happy Ghast, how can you go wrong with him? I mean, look at this handsome boy. This is exactly what you want to see. I love this. This is such a cool and creative way to come up with not only a new mount, but a new method for building and things like that. I am excited to see the Happy Ghast in the full version of the game. Again, this is just the first snapshot of this upcoming drop, which is drop 2 for 2025. I'm sure there's going to be at least a couple more features that'll be added in later snapshots, and I will be sure to check those out. This isn't going to be a false promise like last time I did a snapshot review. I will check them out next time that they come around, because I'm actually really excited for this snapshot, for the snapshots of this drop, because I think that they've got a really cool theme going already. I'm curious what else could go with, because obviously you had the creaking, which had all the wood and stuff like that last drop. I'm curious what they're going to continue with the Ghast for this theme. So, looking forward to seeing how it goes along. But anyway, that's good for this video. Hope you all enjoyed it. Please drop a like and a comment down below if you did. If you subscribe, you haven't already. And I'll see you all on the next one. Bye, guys!